Welcome, pilots! This video is part of a series that will focus on fitting pirate faction cruisers for running combat sites. In this episode, I'll be briefly introducing each of the 7 pirate faction cruisers and discuss my general thoughts on fitting these ships for PvE. In the ship fitting window, these ships are found under non-Empire cruisers and have the green faction cruiser icon. They include the Ashimmu, Cynabal, Gila, Orthrus, Phantasm, Stratios, and Vigilant. At some point in the future, I may also cover the Stormbringer and Vedmak. These ships tend to sell for several hundred million ISK, so they're not exactly cheap. Most of them are built off of blueprint copies that drop from DED-rated combat sites, with a difficulty rating between 4 and 6 out of 10. Exceptions to this are the Orthrus and Stratios. To manufacture them, you need some pretty pricey components. Unfortunately, this often makes the cost of manufacturing them yourself roughly the same as simply buying them off the market. If I had to make a recommendation, I wouldn't fly these until you've made at least 2 billion ISK, and the majority of your related fitting, defensive, and offensive skills have been trained to at least level 4. Because they're already so pricey, I'm much more likely to include some blingy Dead Space modules on a pirate faction cruiser than I am a regular cruiser. For younger players, I'd just like to reiterate what you've probably already heard. Never fly a ship that you can't easily replace. For pirate faction cruisers, I might even recommend waiting until you've proven to yourself that you can make a billion ISK within a 2-week period. All of these ships are capable of running combat sites, but I'll be primarily focusing on showcasing all-in-one fits that can run as many sites as possible. In the shorter term, I'll be producing separate videos for the Cynabal, Phantasm, and Stratios. After that, I'll likely take a break before producing videos for the Gila, Orthrus, Ashimmu, and Vigilant. Each pirate faction cruiser benefits from 2 racial cruiser skills, and each also has a strong roll bonus that improves its ability in combat. It's these roll bonuses that make pirate faction cruisers particularly appealing, as they allow pilots to perform well even if they haven't fully trained the relevant racial cruiser skills. The Ashimmu is associated with the Blood Raiders, and benefits from both the Minmatar and Amar cruiser skills. Its skill bonuses improve Stasis Webifier range, and Energy Nosferatu and Neutralizer drain amounts. The roll bonus gives it a strong boost to medium energy turret damage. While it's certainly capable of running combat sites, I view the Ashimmu as being more of a PvP ship. The Cynabal is associated with the Angel Cartel, and benefits from both the Vigilant and Minmatar cruiser skills. Its skill bonuses improve medium projectile turret fall-off range and damage. The roll bonus improves medium projectile turret rate of fire, and warp speed and acceleration. I quite like the Cynabal for running combat sites, in part due to its strong navigation attributes and high scan resolution. The Gila is associated with the Guristas, and benefits from both the Vigilant and Caldari cruiser skills. Its skill bonuses improve kinetic and thermal missile damage, and shield resistances. The roll bonus gives it a strong boost to medium combat drone damage and hit points. The Gila is deservedly one of the most popular ships for running combat sites, as it's able to combine survivability with high DPS. The Orthrus is associated with the Mordu's Legion, and also benefits from both the Vigilant and Caldari cruiser skills. My understanding is that blueprint copies for the Orthrus can be acquired from one of 2 sources. Either the Loyalty Points store in the only Mordu's Legion station way out in Pure Blind, or likely more commonly from special Mordu's Legion belt rats in low security space. I plan on confirming the presence of these belt rats with my own eyes when I'm editing together the video for the Orthrus. The skill bonuses for the Orthrus improve Warp Scrambler and Disruptor range, and a rather staggering improvement to missile damage. The roll bonus gives it a strong boost to missile velocity, allowing it to strike its targets much more quickly than most other missile ships. Combine these bonuses with the 5 launcher hardpoints, and you have the makings of perhaps the strongest ship for blitzing many combat sites. The Phantasm is associated with the Sanchez Nation, and benefits from both the Caldari and Amar cruiser skills. Its skill bonuses improve afterburner velocity and medium energy turret tracking speed. The roll bonus gives it a strong boost to medium energy turret damage. The Phantasm is kind of a peculiar ship, and I enjoyed trying it out for PvE. The The Stratios is associated with the Sisters of Eve, and benefits from both the Vigilant and Amar cruiser skills. Its skill bonuses improve drone hit points and damage, and armor resistances. The roll bonus gives it a boost to medium energy turret range, scanner probe strength, and analyzer virus strength. It can also fit a covert ops cloaking device. This plethora of bonuses make it highly versatile, able to run both combat sites and the more difficult hacking sites all with the same fit. You can turn in Rogue Drone 43X Nexus chips for Stratios blueprint copies via the Sisters of Eve loyalty point store. These Nexus chips drop from sentient rogue drones found primarily in low-security combat sites. The only combat site in high-security space with a small chance of dropping these is the Drone Gathering, a combat anomaly. I wasn't expecting to enjoy flying it as much as I did. I particularly like being able to run the hacking sites, including the standard and superior sleeper cache, in between running combat sites. While developed by the Guardian Angels, the Vigilant is associated with the Serpentis. It benefits from both the Vigilant and Minmatar cruiser skills. Its skill bonuses improve medium hybrid turret falloff and stasis webifiers. The roll bonus gives it a strong boost to medium hybrid turret damage. It lacks a utility high power slot, meaning you'd have to sacrifice some DPS for a probe launcher if you wanted to run more than just combat anomalies. While it's certainly capable of running combat sites, I view the Vigilant as being more of a PvP ship. When I'm fitting cruiser hulls for running combat sites, I tried to build fits that are capable of running both 4 of 10 and Vigil sites. My preference is to have a strong active tank with middling resists, something reaching or at least approaching cap stability, and high DPS that can reach out as far as possible, particularly for sites that have stasis towers. I usually prefer fitting an afterburner rather than a micro-warp drive, but not all Pirate Faction cruisers have sufficient velocity to make speed tanking worthwhile. If the ship is slower than about 800 meters per second with an afterburner, I fit a micro-warp drive instead, and I tend to prefer either the Restrain variation or the Corellum C-type for its low impact on the capacitor. My desire for cap stability may seem unusual to some pilots, as it isn't really necessary once you have the hang of PvE. What it does do is allow you to be a little bit more lazy, as you can just activate your shield boosters or armor repairs and face tank whatever comes your way. Most of my fits either have 2 medium armor repairers or a single large shield booster, each with rigs that bring the repair rate up to around 100 hit points per second. The Gila, Orthrus, and Phantasm each have a passive shield option. That should give you a general feel for how I personally like to fit my ships, and what to expect in the dedicated videos for each ship. Stay tuned for the next part in the series, where I'll showcase some PvE fits for the Cynabal. If you ever need a little help running any combat site you find in high security space, you can check out my comprehensive library of video guides right here on this channel. Stay tuned to Riley Entertainment for more EVE Online combat site guides. Smash that like button if you enjoy my content.